Uh-oh. Looks like we got a little scuff here already. That's how it came to me. A little mark on the underneath won't show once I have it mounted anyway. Got a little Rust-Oleum satin finish. Indoor, outdoor, metal wood, fiberglass. Let's see what we can do here. Let's get a little wipe down. Okay. Oh. A little shaky this morning. Okay. See what that looks like. Alright guys, been about 10 minutes since I put the first little coat on. I'm not in any way trying to do this perfect. I'm just putting this on here to stop any rust from happening. Like I said, this is the bottom, and you cannot see that once mounted on the bike anyway. But I could have done it in 2 light coats because I could still see the little scratches after the first coat, so I even added a little bit more. You might see that on the video. Could have done 2 light coats and then came back over with another light coat, but it's not that serious. Okay, so I'm gonna hit it with another coat, very light. Okay, kind of feather it in, and I'm gonna call that good to go. Alright guys, there it is. That's that scratch that was on there when I got them. That's with the Rust-Oleum satin paint on it. I think it did a fairly good job of matching it. Let me see, let me get some light. A little light on it. So when it scratches in the future, I wouldn't mind just slapping a little bit of that on it. A little touch up. Actually pretty close. Could have feathered it in better up here if I wanted, but I didn't want to go onto the tape. Could have done better, but it's on the bottom. It's not a big deal. I already got the touch-up paint out. You know what? I don't know about this finish. Let's see how durable it is. Do a little durability test. You got a regular nail. Okay, try to put a little. Okay, definitely better than I expected. It did not break through the finish. I was pushing quite hard. Looks like we got a little breakage there, but it even kind of dented with it. All right, let's try one of these. Wow, I think those dents even still have a little finish in them. Try the flat part. This is sharp right here, so that's definitely gonna. I'm pushing. Good there, guys. Yeah. Let's see what we're looking like. And we even got some pieces coming off. Seeing a little thing of bare metal there. Let me wipe that off real quick. Alright. A little paper towel caught in there. I can tell you I'm pretty damn impressed. Did better than I thought. Okay. Let's see. There's looks like a little spot right there that made it to the bare metal, just a tiny right there. And when I was whacking it with the sharp end of that, a couple little pinholes. Other than that, that finish held up great. Alright guys, it's only fair. The cheap rear ones from Amazon get the same test. I'm guessing it's going to hold up the same. Okay. Sharp part. Yeah. Did pretty good. Nothing to complain about. But pretty impressed with that too. But I can tell you the finish on the Outback Motortek definitely withstood a little bit more. A lot of that went all the way down to bare metal. Alright, still good enough. Real quick guys, I just want to point out this looks like some water kicked up and then when it dried, it left some like dirt or mud on the engine case here. And I didn't ride like in the wet after a rain. I mean, it had been like a day, maybe even two, but cloudy since it rained. When I took this out and then I noticed this on here, I didn't ride through any puddles. I didn't ride through anything like that. I did notice the street looked a little moist still, not wet, but you can kind of tell, you know, it rained in the last day or two. It was a little moist. Somehow it still kicked up this gross stuff all over my motor here, the case of it, which obviously I don't like. So I just want to show this because the skid plate I'm going to put on here, let's see if it stops that from getting on my motor and it hits the skid plate. All right, trying to loosen this up a hair. There we go. Okay, that should be good enough. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright guys, a little tip. I might be able to use this air ratchet, but haven't oiled it in a long time, I'm sure. Dip something in some transmission fluid, let it drip off of it. Just put a few drips in here. Easy peasy Japanesey. Bada bing, bada boom. Next. Boom. Not too difficult. Okay, I'm just gonna give them a little shot. Make my room. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Bottom one in there. Definitely not gonna go in. Push up. All right. That wasn't too bad at all. I'm just tightening these first. I don't know if that's right or wrong. The torque spec on these bolts and nuts, or bolts, is going to be called hella tight. Okay? That's the torque spec. Alright guys, I'm going to go for these ones in here next. I'm going to put them on with the hand tool. If you remember, I got them pretty much in with the air tool. I'm gonna put something right here so I don't clink the dang gas tank over and over. Alright. got a little bit on that one, a little bit on this one. These ones I'm gonna call medium tight. That's the torque spec, medium tight. They weren't too terribly tight from the beginning. We're going mid-tight on that. This is how I'm doing it. Watch the video, see how they tighten theirs down. Once again, mid-tight. Alright guys, I think we're pretty much done with the crash bars. Got all my bolts tight down here, mid-tight. Actually, no, that was hella tight. Okay. Second, did the ones down in here. Got those a little less than mid-tight. Those weren't super tight. Third, mid-tight on these. Fourth, mid-tight on those. That's the order I did it. Okay, check Outback Motortek site to how they install these. They probably have a different thing that they're doing. That's what looked right to me.
Do the same thing. Gradually tighten all the bolts and nuts, okay? Do not pull this completely snug and then the next one. Turn it a few times, 4 or 5 times, move on to the next one, and then start all over again. And the next step is you can pull them snug. Final step is gonna be torquing.
What the hell did you just say?
Torquing.
Go over real quick while I got these from Outback Motortek. I mean, look at the finish compared to the forks down here. Pretty much identical. It's one of the main reasons I like the finish on them. I don't like that super glossy look that some of the other companies have. This one I knew was going to match perfectly. And I also like the lines that it takes. Not overly intrusive over the bike. I think that they looked the best and they fit perfect on the bike. There is nothing off. There is no parts that don't look straight. Everything looks perfect. Look how far that sticks out, which protects the case, the side motor case, and a bunch of other parts here. It's almost having the lower crash protection and the skid plate all in one. That's why I got that skid plate. Alright, that's about it. I truly believe these crash bars and that skid plate are the best looking ones for this motorcycle, due to the finish they have on them and the styling. Go check the guys out at Outback Motortek. They make them for all sorts of bikes. They actually crash test these things. Go check them out on YouTube. And I'm not talking about just a fall over. They're crash testing them like a 40, 50 mile an hour crash. Anyways, thank you guys over at Outback Motortek. I do appreciate it. Go check out their installation videos. We'll show it all on there. Don't follow what I did. But I'll see y'all later. Thanks.